Check.
Yeah, there you go.
Bro, they did me so cold last night. I didn't see it till this morning. But they send you like the text messages when you get like a package in the locker, right?
Uh-huh.
So I got a text message, but it wasn't from the package locker. It was from Amazon. And they sent me a picture. Bro, they set my shit up outside the door, bro. Like leaning up in the corner. I was like, boy.
Did it make it through the night?
Huh?
It made it through the night?
Somebody was cold enough to bring it in and put it by the lockers, man.
That's what's up.
I was like, that's what's up, man.
Look at.
But also look at the community. But also they ain't slick because they got my name and my apartment number on it. So I'm doing a great job at like detouring myself to like make sure nobody knows what the hell I live.
I see.
So I get off on hella different floors. There's somebody on the elevator with me.
This nigga think he James Bond.
Bro, a hella different floor. They be
You
like,
go-
wait a minute, you stay on the 7th? Wait, you stay on the 6th? Wait, you stay on the 8th? Nigga, whatever.
Just take the stairs.
This nigga think he James Bond, bro. I'm hot.
Oh, nigga.
I didn't read you guys. I wasn't able to. It looked like y'all put some shit in there though.
Freestyle?
It looked like y'all put some shit in there though.
Nah, we got some stuff.
African Americans face high risk. One of us being held lucky that way. Quarantine and whatever else is rushing. That's a good one. My personality during this. Jeez, man. His AMC movie's possibly going on a bit. Jeez. Okay. Niggas want a pod today. Let's get it. Close this. How's your light? You good? Mm-hmm. Well, all right. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I am Monty Draper alongside
LG.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna make
I'm gonna get it.
Lex,
It's gonna come.
Lex is here with us once again. Happy quarantine to all. California is officially killing it in terms of getting our curve down. So salute to everybody taking this serious and practicing social distancing, not for only ourselves but for our fellow brethren. Gentlemen, how are you?
Great.
Lovely.
Yeah. What have we been doing? Any updates? Any new fun task you've taken on in this alone time? This solitude, if you will.
Nah. My bike came in though.
The bike made it.
Oh,
hey, you for sure ain't ordered that from Amazon. You couldn't have.
Bike came in, bro. Bike came in. I was able to put it together. It had 1,000 pieces to it, but it's good to go. And works just fine.
Little wobbly, are you out of that phase of not putting shit together correctly? Because there was a time when IKEA, you know that single mom shit.
IKEA also don't give you all the information.
They purposely don't give you everything.
But there's a specific sort of experience where it's just you and your mom, and you become the nigga that got to push it together. You 7 years old in the middle of like 1,000 pieces, and it's like, fam, what am I doing? But for a while there would always be like 7 or 8 pieces just left over. Be like, them was extra. Nigga, no, they weren't.
I think you also do that when it ain't your shit.
When it ain't yours.
Like when it's yours, you be extra sensitive about making sure this shit ain't about to fall apart.
Bro, who says that there's 7 or 8 extra pieces? And the shit that they can't afford to give you extra pieces, bro.
Cause you gotta think about it. When you 7, bro, you spend a lot of time on a video game. So if you gotta take any time off the game, then that means that you're doing some shit that you don't want to do. So if I put together a shelf or some shit, best believe there's extra pieces in that shelf.
Because I'm looking at the picture.
Bro, I'm putting all them extra pieces in that drawer that everything goes in.
The junk drawer?
Bro, the junk drawer, bro. And if
You're
it fall
never-
apart by day, I go find some.
You're never going to need an extra custom Allen Rich that was made just for one listener. Like, come on, fam. Throw that shit away. Throw that away. Oh, man.
You never know, though.
So your bike came, Lex. Y'all been doing anything fun at the house?
I'm gaming now.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Gamer.
What do you got?
Brought it back.
I got the newest Call of Duty, and now I'm not productive at all.
Bro, I'm so ancient. I can't tell you what's going on in Call of Duty, Fortnite.
I'm telling
None
you,
of that shit.
don't get a video game.
Niggas is playing.
I was never good at that shit.
Niggas playing open gym on 2K. That's how long I've been out the loop.
Yeah.
You can meet at a gym and then talk with your niggas and then be on the same team. What?
Yeah.
That's what video. That's what video games is now.
Yeah, they doing all kind of shit on there.
That's just me.
They been lost me. Also, that goes to like my personality thing too. Like, as soon as you gotta be like socializing motherfuckers through the video game, is when I was
You
like,
out? You
yeah,
out?
bro. Like, I play the actual I play like storylines and shit. So I do storylines, but don't have me meet on this game and go play with other folks. I can't do it.
I don't talk to nobody. I don't even hook up the headset. I'll just be like, no.
Oh no, I feel you. That's what I used to do when I played. When I was playing 2K competitively. It's different. You know what I mean? So like when I was out,
Nigga L was playing for money.
bro. When I was out here really gaming against niggas on the online, was like they would talk hella shit on the headphones. I put my headphones on and listen to them niggas talk shit, and I say a word back. You're a sicko for that.
Are you are y'all learning anything about yourselves in this time?
Completely.
Oh Jesus.
Completely.
Good. Well, I'm afraid to ask.
I mean, I've been told this before.
I'm afraid to ask.
No, I've been told though that like my personality is like it's against the grain and like to like almost to a fault, and I'm starting to realize just how far I tend to go with not doing things as everybody else is doing things. Like when y'all talk about Tiger King, that was like, oh, that's a small part of my personality, but like it goes on to like.
Oh, just being anti. You mean?
Just super anti about everything though. Like, why you gotta be anti about every single thing? But like nobody knows about it though. It's not like I'm anti and telling people about it. Like I'm literally just not doing things and listening things and watching things off the simple fact that motherfucker. I'm even not watching motherfuckers talk about the things that I'm not paying attention to.
What is that though? Because you've always been like. To me, nigga, it sounds like you just discovering that, and you've always been like that.
I'm just discovering that because I get a chance to spend a lot of time myself while everybody else spend a lot of time with themselves.
So you
and like it was different before when I could just like, I could have a release from this and just go, go out and like be my extrovert side.
No release at all.
So. No release. It's just nigga you just straight anti. Like I like to say, like how Kendrick said, the anti-social extrovert. Nigga, that's me to a T, but like there's no extrovert part of this. So like now it's just me just being overly
anti-social extrovert.
Overly anti about shit though.
Yeah. Huh.
What about y'all, man? What y'all been up to?
You learned anything about you and the family in this time?
Sid's crazy.
Sid's also what? 7?
6.
6. Yeah, that's. Whoo.
Yeah, so now I'm figuring out who she is.
Her personality.
She's nuts. Like. The way she plays with her toys, I'm like, ooh, I don't know what's going on. Like, why is that doll hanging from the bedpost like that?
She going through something, Daddy.
No, she was like, that doll done messed up. What? What did you say, Dad? They gotta pay what they owe, so
she must be watching Westworld.
Bro, gotta pay what they owe though. That's what's up.
Yo, that's many.
That's like the time, like it's wild that story, but like it's actually probably shouldn't be telling that story. But the time when, because I used to always watch horror films at a very young age, they ruined me very early, so I was completely out of the loop on like being afraid of it, these type of things. So the time that my mom found me doing the mantra on Child's Play to my little brother, and like I was doing it in the bathroom.
The
right?
Charles Lee Ray mantra,
bro.
Bro,
I was doing the whole thing right, and then my brother just laying on the ground and with his eyes closed, and my mom walked in on that, and she lost her fucking mind, bro. Like she grabbed him and ran out and just left me, and I'm just like, bro, like. What you mean? I ain't even done yet. Like
I'm not done,
bro.
This nigga's
bro, no clouds even formed outside yet, bro. What you talking about?
You say I'm not even done?
My nigga, I didn't hear one thunder or lightning, bro. What you mean?
But see, there's some of the funniest YouTube videos is why black people can't be how movies would go if black people were the lead roles. The movies would be over. That like the fact that your mom came in there and saw what was going on, grabbed her other son and left her other baby in there like that nigga's possessed. We're out. Like that's why I fuck with black people though.
That's
like
real.
That's why I fuck with black people because it's
didn't wait around for nothing, bro. Didn't ask no questions.
The fact that you were her son and she was.
And the fact I didn't even move though, I was just like, bro, what you mean? Like, it ain't done yet, bro.
Auntie, I love you. Like, that's why your mom is my nigga for real. Cause she, like, the way her brain computes is like a real nigga. Like, oh, he's done. We're
it's a wrap for that.
Oh shit!
Divided, bro. It's a wrap for him.
Oh,
That's hella funny.
Oh my gosh, man! What
about you, Money Man? Any personality traits you done found out about?
See, y'all's was funny. Mine is just gonna get dark.
Go for it, man.
No, it's not gonna get dark. I really like consuming. Pause. Like that sounds crazy, but like I've had the most amazing time just being a stan of shit, right? So, Teen put me on this movie Molly's Game. I don't even remember that movie come out in theaters. It's an Idris Elba movie, so you would think like it would hit like major screen radars. I don't remember that movie at all. I don't remember a trailer for it. None of it.
Is that with the Chastain or whatever? Like the white girl with the red hair?
Yeah. See, the fact that you could even get that far, I was like, what? Yeah. But it's former Olympian turned fucking poker queen or whatever.
Yeah.
An excellent movie, but just would have never seen it. So then there's that. There's the ridiculous amount of books that I have to go through in my room, and I'm just like, yo, this is amazing. Oh my gosh. And then shout out to the homies Five Space in San Diego, Sir Froderick, sending me the Mac Mac Miller, God bless his soul, one of the most genius people to ever walk this earth. However, his favorite body of work for me is probably the hardest to sit through because it's him at his darkest. Faces. They did limited vinyl on it, and this Five Space homie sent me a copy, and I've been listening to that all week. Like I'll just drop the needle and just let it play, either go to sleep or right when I wake up in the morning. And I remember when it came out, being so excited about it, but now listening to it in retrospect is so hard. It's so hard. But I've been listening to that a lot. And then last night, Primo and RZA put 90,000 people in a live stream in less than 90 seconds. Hip hop is alive, well, and beautiful, y'all. I did not want to start with this, but y'all asked me what I've learned about myself through that last night. I knew that I was a stan, but it got solidified last night. Like I was in here, Ariana came in the room. She's like, "Nigga, you okay?" I was in there. Nigga, let's go. Like just having the time of my life, and then was like, let me go outside and get some air. I'm bugging. Was outside, and then RZA played Triumph, and I just, for whatever reason, I didn't, because he got so, RZA's hilarious. This nigga's name is Bobby Digital, and he was like, yo, I'm mad soggy on this technology. Like, nigga, first of all, you can't, what does mad soggy mean? And your nigga, your AKA is Bobby Digital, my nigga. You don't know how to use Instagram? What are we doing?
That's hella funny.
But he played Triumph, and I literally was walking down the little walkway and jumped and like clicked my heels, nigga. Like that's how happy I got. It's like, okay, this is ridiculous. But so what I've uncovered about myself is like when I'm left to my own sort of thing, I'm really, my imagination is what it is for a reason. Like I can make all kind of shit up. So I've had, but then with that comes the highs and lows because that imagination can get really, really dark. But then it also can get really, really bright. And that shit can happen within a matter of like nanoseconds. It could be like, I mean, the depths of hell to like, we lit it again. Like in a matter of a blink, you're like, bro, how do you do that? Like there's got to be something for that. So
yeah,
I think that's what I've uncovered mostly about myself over the last, is this day 27, I think? Give or take.
Yeah, it'd have been since the 13th of March.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, day 27, give or take, depending on when everybody started. We're on the earlier side of like when California was kind of on it. Like, hey, even before it came down from like the president and the other, like when I found out other states were just implementing the shelter in place last week, bro, I was like, wait, what? Like, I had a whole new. Granted, the cases out in Santa Clara and Stanford were like rampant like a motherfucker, and then like Napa and other places started to get it or whatever. But I'm salute to California. I just wanted to say that too, because watching the maps and the grids of where it's having the spikes and shit is like, for whatever reason, everybody seems to be abiding. Like, there's still the niggas at the park, like, throwing footballs and shit, and hooping. Like, I seen some niggas hooping with gloves on yesterday. So that was pretty fascinating.
Trying to still get the game in.
The grocery store excursion is mad. Like, that shit's tricky.
Yeah.
Have you been doing it? Like, I haven't experienced the same struggle as everyone else. I know the toilet paper thing will probably happen at some point. It ain't happened yet. But in terms of like the food that I eat and the shit that I'm just into, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. It was just like when you go to the store, the beauty of what I eat.
The beauty of what I eat.
No, the beauty of what I eat. What I found out though is like it's not the first thing that folks are grabbing off the shelves, which is great for me because when the time I get to there, I look at like when I sweep through a grocery store, it's like everything that I needed is in my basket, which is great. Like while everybody else is like kind of struggling through this thing and like cussing out the workers and talking about what time they can get to the store and what time they can't.
Yeah.
Like the workers give a shit. Is like I feel bad for that type of situation, but I mean I think for a lot of this stuff, if it's like very common stuff, like commonality stuff, you got to know that stores restock in the morning. You got to just duke it out if you got to deal with it in the lines in the morning. But the lines aren't as bad as people think that they are.
But even with that though, G, shout out to Casey's Barbecue. They're doing Thursday to Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. Call in your orders and you can pay Venmo. Casey's BBQ LLC. You can Venmo ahead of time. And
Best barbecue out here, man. Yeah. Best barbecue, period, bro. I don't give a fuck anybody say, bro. I'll put them up against anybody.
Casey's Barbecue, San Pablo and Gilman, Thursday to Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. Call in your order ahead of time and pay Venmo. Casey's BBQ LLC. That is not a paid sponsorship, but I went to support family yesterday. I missed Pat mostly. And the food, so I pulled up. Was like, "Yo, how you doing?" He's just like, "Man, I gotta be honest. Like, I get that it's fucked up for everybody else." He's like, "But you gotta remember, everything's always sort of been check to check for me. So where these other businesses are panicking and struggling and feel like they're drowning, he's like, I feel more prepared for this than." He's like, it kind of not feeling the brunt of it because this has been my normal. And that shit hit my core for so many reasons because of what you just got done talking about, G. Going to the store and kind of like, nigga, if it ain't there, I'm not about to go spaz on the worker. Like I can, if what I want indeed isn't there, I can just go adapt. But I also haven't encountered the shit that I want not being there.
Right.
So it's kind of just like this thing of like not ever having or living in abundance of shit. You kind of just know how to make do, and this hasn't felt like the adapting that the world seems to be experiencing right now. This just
we have to go to like the restrictions part of it, and like the reason why, truthfully, like hate to put it that way, but like this isn't like the biggest of deals for the African American. To tell you the truth, like there's in
terms of like comfort of living, you mean
comfort of living, yeah. I mean, like it's big deal for everybody as far as like the actual virus itself. Absolutely. But I mean, like the way the adjustments that you have to make in your day to day in these times are not as big of an adjustment. You know what I mean, for like people who can remember at least having without. You know what I mean? Because if you gotta pick and choose between grabbing one item over grabbing another item, depending on where your pockets are at any given time, it's fairly similar to if you have a lot more in your pocket now, but you still got to pick and choose between certain items because they're not there. You know what I mean? So like you can still adjust your taste buds. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm about to be like, man, I really wanted some ox, or I really wanted some like, fucking, what is it? Was it veal?
Veal.
Yeah, I really wanted some veal, but motherfuckers went to the veal first and snatched all that shit up. So,
all the veal's gone.
Yeah, all the veal's gone. So god damn it, man.
All the couscous.
Yeah, when
gone,
y'all gonna
man.
get that shit back, bro?
What is couscous? Help me out.
Yeah, that's a Google question, bro.
What is couscous? What is couscous?
That's Siri.
Oh my god. But I want to salute all the businesses that are thriving. Our day one sponsor, Northwest Pizza, not only is Morgan up there killing it in terms of like just keeping the business afloat, he is going above and beyond to help
for other local businesses, to
save other businesses.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job.
That shit is some powerful shit, bro. Like to promote other businesses that may be in closer proximity to people or even in the same location. I believe in the city of Ashland, there's like 125 restaurants. 85 to 95 of them are closed. It maybe even more now because that was like the first week. I would imagine that it's even more of those are closed now. So he's booming in that. But the Rogue Valley is massive, and he's going out of his way to promote other businesses in the Rogue Valley that can prove essential to families, and other families from other places are calling in to donate food to other families from those restaurants, bro. This shit it's been some of the most amazing things to watch. A lot of these stories aren't getting coverage. We happen to be privy for them and be in direct contact with some of the people who are in the forefront for them. I also want to salute my brother Kev Choice. He released his social distancing EP this Friday and hosted a listening party via Zoom where most of the people featured on the record were in attendance on that call, and it turned out to be just this beautiful ass discussion in and around healing via art, creativity, expression. It just was dope to see what a community could be and sort of begin to forecast what the economics of said community could look like in the spirit of the art realm. So I wanted to salute to them. You landed on, you kind of just stumbled into a topic in terms of talking about the comfort of living for African Americans in this time. Another variable of that, however, is how much more susceptible to fatality members of the African American community are, based off of other illnesses that already sort of are rampant throughout our pre-existing sickness that already is rampant in our community, whether it be diabetes, hypertension, all these things that kind of already lessen the immune system in that regard, and these are direct sort of components of poverty. There's no other way to sort of make sense of that other than if this is present, if these illnesses are present, guess what is 10 times out of 10 present as well in that same area, and that is poverty. What have you read or engaged in terms of what that looks like and what that means for Black people as a whole?
Well, I just found it interesting when I saw that, because I was the Surgeon General saying that, and that was just like the tagline that was on the news. Mm-hmm. I've stayed so far away from that, but that was just like something that was
you had to
going
engage
around,
with.
whatever. But it was just funny because that being a tagline at the bottom and them talking about that. But I could just remember the when you're misinformed, when you're misinformed and then you push the narrative and you double down on your misinformation, then that's it's always interesting when something like this pops up, because the whole thing you could think about when this first came out was that because the numbers are so low and because there was not enough tests that have gone around, not enough people that that have been in contact with the virus, that somehow, some way, that Black people cannot get it, that they were immune to it. Yeah. Only to find out that bro.
The most privy.
The biggest chance of getting it is actually from the folks who unfortunately, like you said, due to pre-existing conditions, and also I'm always a little weirded out in these topics too. For one, I hated seeing them put it on a tagline that African Americans are more susceptible to this virus, instead of saying that, you know, people who suffer from pre-existing conditions
and systemic oppression. Have that conversation.
And your immunity already being broken down, your immune system already being broken down, being overweight,
the neighborhoods being
unhealthy due to the amount of fast food intake or eating from corner stores and
being built next to refineries and shit like that. Like it's just a lot of shit that's just like, hey, y'all figure it out.
Having one of your ways of dealing with problems or getting over problems or getting through problems be your local corner store that has liquor. A lot of these things are like built into your society. So that's a whole umbrella of stuff before you even get to saying that this is an African American thing. Like, no, it's not. This is
why is it? You know,
why. It has to do with the community and has to do with how the community was set up, stuff like
starting at the why,
all that stuff. So that I'm always weirded out by that type of stuff because you don't go into enough detail and that unfortunately pushes the narrative not only for people outside of us but
for us, man.
It's a negative. Stuck in that.
It's a supreme negative reinforcement.
Exactly.
Where you can sort of take imagery, text, and sort of re-emphasize a prophecy of sorts, and it can have some sort of conversation, can be and will be garnered around it, and it'll become the standard or the truth, and people will be held and live in expectation of that, and come not to expect better circumstances or better outcomes from it. And I personally have so much issue with that in particular, is like that always that how things are said. But then as we grow and we get a little bit more access, we have a better understanding as to why things are said the way that they are.
Completely.
And delivered and sort of and presented the way that they are as a means to further the systemic oppression that
that. And also, if you go to like there was the line in Boys in the Hood,
they don't know.
Yeah, even they don't know that line that he said. It is as true as it comes, especially the higher up you get, because the higher up you get, you have to start dealing with groups of people in the form of generalizations. Yeah. So if there's no way to like change the entire general narrative on a particular group, then you just pass along the exact same one because you don't have enough contact with them to have anything else, which kind of goes to how Kanye was voicing himself. It came across wrong, but it's a mental thing. You know what I mean? Like you have to see more for yourself than what others see for you.
Yeah.
And it starts with certain individuals. It can't be for the whole mass, unfortunately, at one time.
I don't know. Go ahead, G, my bad.
But it's something that it's built like you put brick on brick until you have a house, bro. Like that's the only way that you can kind of come out of some of these things. But it has to start with rogue individuals in a economic or social class. Like that's just how it goes. You have to have rogue individuals that aren't going to settle for that blanketed narrative for us all. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it came across the way that he came across, and there was a big uproar about that. But he was right in what he said. It was just how it was said and the time it was said, and people weren't ready for that message.
And maybe not because of some of the optics around things that he's done since then, but are we far enough away from the theater of that, to have the conversation about what he actually meant. Are we far enough away from that for people to be able to really dissect it and not sort of try to interject their own personal hurt and emotions into something that is just outright true, right? Mm-hmm. We had minimal discussion in and around when it took place, but never really got into depth just because of how many people were impacted by it, and it felt unfair to try to have a discussion in and around it, but I ultimately was confused that people couldn't just not do that and have a discussion around what was actually being said in terms of how opting into a particular mindset and not having particular discussions, not making commitment and effort to a community, to our dollar, to our economics, that some of that shit beyond a particular realm and to a particular person with particular access, and to be in the know and to still make certain decisions feels like a choice. How was any of that wrong?
Only because it was looped in with history that still hasn't been touched on. Like, if it's a wound that has never had a chance to heal, then unfortunately the masses of people will not will react as if it's still fresh. You know what I mean? Like, none of us was there. You know what I mean? And we're far enough removed from that part of history, I would say, for us to think as if we are equal, regardless of how that is portrayed or how it is pushed upon us on how people view us or people act towards us or something like that. That doesn't matter. Like, you should still move as if you are equal. You know what I mean? First and foremost, and only operate with respect, and people have to also give that to you, and it kind of starts there. And I think that from there you should be able to have these type of conversations with people who aren't aware of your history or doesn't feel it on the same level as you, in order to move forward, I would say. But at first, bro, you have to act as if that wound is. You gotta start working towards healing some of those wounds, bro. Yeah. Like, nigga, I wasn't there, bro, so I'm not about to act like that wound is mine. Like, my people, yes, I always operate as if I have ancestral wealth and an abundance of love and spiritual awareness from my ancestors of that time. But that's an act of power, though. Like, and none of that shit got to do with weakness.
Not a submission.
None of that, bro.
Not a submission. And ultimately, above all, that's what that man was trying to convey, albeit wrong. I finished the Jay-Z the American Dream book, Michael Eric Dyson. But one of the centerpiece discussions is Hov's freestyle after Nip died, and how critics, both black and white, took, and this is right in alignment with the NFL shit, took his gentrification line and was like, "Boy, that's not what Nip was trying to do. That's besides the point." And it's like, bro, like, the fact that y'all could even get to that point to completely misinterpret what he intended and to take him at face value and so literal shows that you don't understand this thing at all. You can't possibly. Hip hop is hip hop, and the use of language and delivery is 100% been built on taking terms in negative light and flipping them. Like, that's the brilliance of it. Buy the hood back, gentrify your own hood. Like, bro, how do you not know what that means? But of course you don't, because you're not of it, and you're in a position to be able to critique it, break it down, but you don't even understand what the fuck you're dissecting. and then furthering and creating a distance between somebody who has committed themselves to their neighborhood and creating a disconnect. There should be no disconnect between Hove and the black community. There should be no disconnect between, God bless his soul, Nip and his community. But both of those spectrums exist for a fucking reason. You know, the amount of stress and trauma and potential life-threatening danger that can come with just trying to provide for people that look like you, and not just hand out some money, but I'm talking like opportunity and access. Just showing up can cost you your fucking life. I'm sorry you don't know what that feels like. Where literally the answer to you making it is like never looking back. Like that those are the options. How y'all don't correlate that with trauma is beyond me, fam.
Yeah. Which we're pretty much at the point of you get out and then you have vehicles, you have basically tentacles of yourself that touches people who can then touch the people from where you're from. Which is fucked up, you know what I mean? Because it's like, man, I would like to be out there too, but that's not the way that this whole thing is set up.
Yeah,
my people aren't healed enough, and there isn't enough. There aren't enough resources for them to heal at the rapid pace per person per quota.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and the only way to be able to see the fruits of my labor and also my children seeing the fruits of those labor, and also being able to then provide resources for more is by being detached from the source, from the initial from your initial progression. So that I see why I see Hove's stance, and I see how Hove made it to, how old is Hove now? 50?
50.
I see how Hove made it to 50. I see how Diddy made it to 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see how Nip unfortunately did not.
Wow. Damn. I don't even know how to dismount and pivot, pause, from that, without just making it dramatic. One of the reoccurring themes is just like, what the hell are you binge watching? And you talked about it a few weeks ago, but Hi, I'm Dave, the Little Dicky show on FX.
Great fucking show.
Is a superb show.
It is.
Watched all 7 episodes in an afternoon. Just like addicted to the storytelling, the current, the now of it, right? There isn't a lag in the information. It's extremely current. Like it's almost because it's one thing to be futuristic. It's one thing to reference something in the past, and it's one thing for there to be a little lag because you shot it last season and it didn't get released to this season. This shit is right on time.
Yeah, it kind of moves along like Grownish.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever seen Grownish,
yes.
but yeah, Grownish is very up to date. Same thing with Blackish too, actually, but they do a great job of keeping it super current.
I text L immediately because he's like, yo, he's like, I just assumed you were watching it, and I'm like, I'm watching it now, and I'm of course I'm a super fan now, but it all comes from a space of like, Dickie's a special case because there is some bitterness that exists in and around his success. I was telling the guys off air before we started, he's white. And so with that just comes a built-in level of privilege that's unavoidable. However, he's fucking like true brilliant, and not brilliant in like book smart. He has a level of emotional intelligence that separates him from the pack, and a level of awareness of his privilege and his whiteness that gives him another level of privilege of like, I have to fuck with him because of how self-aware he is. Like if I don't like my favorite Mac Miller line. If I'm not in your top 10, then you're a racist. I love the irony of that because it's true. If Mac wasn't in your top, you just was purely hating on race, and he was aware of his racial privilege. So let me flip that and just make it fun. Dickie's in a similar boat where he's so aware of his privilege. He's so self-aware that he goes out of his way to tell particular stories and paint a particular picture that people of color wouldn't be allowed to, but he's using his privilege to his advantage to put people on and like Gator's been talented. Gator's been supremely talented, and he is by far the standout of that show. Taco, member of Odd Future, has always been exceptionally talented, but he's from Odd Future. There's Tyler, there's Sid, there's Frank. Come on, man. Like that nigga's hella far down that list before we even begin to talk about a Taco.
Yeah, that's a great group, man.
So hey,
Odd Future is so damn talented.
We're gonna have to have a discussion about Odd Future with the Woo, like especially after watching last night, and niggas are gonna be like, shut the fuck up, money. All right, bet. I'll shut up. But when y'all ready to have that conversation, holla at me. Like I just want to point that out there. I'm gonna get killed for that. Jesus Christ, I gotta stop. I'll be on my.
You've got a ledge though.
I'll be on my ledge.
Quick to jump off it too. You like, oh, there it is.
And y'all niggas just go, yeah, you on your own, brother. Nah, but
it's a nice body of water down there.
With the Dave show, I just want to say watch it. I don't even want to get into this, but there was one thing that came up that I had to put on the show, and because it was just a funny episode and a funny reoccurring thing, but it was talking about the concept of having a discussion about your fetishes as a filthy fucking guy with your girl.
Man,
not your side chick,
not
a chick you trying to just fuck with, but your girl, like she done met moms, y'all be in public to get like your niggas know her. I have to preface it like that because I feel like there's a difference. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but
nah, y'all mad comfortable, but there's still something that hasn't quite passed the threshold yet.
There's still a partition of what you're willing to discuss with this person because you respect her and you want to protect her from your filth.
Exactly.
She was like, "You told me what your craziest thing that
you left this out.
You left this out." This was
but it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking, fellas, and answer if you want to. But you're at the healthiest, whether you're still with that person or not. At your healthiest, wasn't it with that person that knew your deepest, darkest, disgusting secrets? Right or wrong? All right, they're thinking.
Right.
Lex, that's right. L looks like he's going to be anti just to be anti for the sake of conversation. Are you protecting them from your filth?
Depends.
Pleads the fifth.
It depends on what. Hey, there we go.
Depends.
What does it depend on?
Because I kind of separate the two. So like I think that for me personally, like I don't think like complete filth has ever really made it into like my relationships. Now, filth has definitely happened in like outside of relationships, but inside of relationships,
you're not bringing it there.
I can't bring myself to bring that into the relationship.
What is your
like when they was about to get in their bag with the table and all that? I'm looking at that like.
I'm not even.
But I rock with it, but at the same time, like that's.
But it doesn't even have to be that though. Like I'm just saying, but you know, because you know what your bandwidth of filthiness is.
Completely.
I know mine. Jesus Christ. Like I would.
You said Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There was a point where I was like, I'm never gonna fully tell anybody like what I'm into, like fantasies and all that shit, because it's like the cop out fantasy is like the threesome. Come on, man, get out of here with that. That's high school.
Yeah,
like
you can definitely throw that one out.
You can throw that one out the window.
That's always the filler one.
Yeah, like nah, nigga, what are you really into? And then you I'm gonna shoot my shot and just say, and to my surprise, Women are filthy too. Like
No, women are definitely
I was
filthy.
about to say they worse than us.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
You check out a woman you're dealing with their history on
Their porn history.
What?
This is what you watching? Oh my God! You know you can never do that to me ever. That can never happen.
That's why I can't even open up that Pandora's box, bro. Because like when they start, because once I'm able to do like the filth that comes across in my head, I can only imagine what the filth about to come out of her head and what she wants to do towards me. And I'm like, bro, there's certain parts of my body that's just off fucking limits.
This is not a two-way street.
Bro, like there's certain things that's just off fucking limits, bro. When she was like, yeah, what you mean? I'll definitely dress. It's like nigga in a heartbeat. Nigga, like why'd you answer that question so quickly?
Why did you answer that question so fast? And why are you so?
And also, bro, like, did like how many times have you watched yo? Nah, that's just never. But anyways, but nah, that's the not on no childish shit though, but just like simply.
No filters making into relationships for you.
I mean, it just kind of depends on the level, and then also, I think some folks are just a little bit filthier mentally, but would never possibly do none of that shit. And a lot of that stuff comes down to just like in my world, in my thought process of things is just that the majority of the world is not having sex.
You said that.
I've said that, but that's the reason why I think a lot of that stuff comes up. It's just like
majority of people are living fantasy.
Bro, off top. That's why porn is a relationship killer. Because motherfuckers be doing like they think about all the stuff that they look at the videos and think that this shit is amazing, and then like you get in the bedroom and all this shit is off limits, and it's just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
By sheer numbers, you're right though, because like even some of the like fans only shit that's being created. Like if you look at like this is how you know you watch too much porn when you start looking at how many views shit got and like what the rating is. You're like, oh nigga, this has got 92% thumbs up.
When you wild on the porn, boys, when you start looking through the comments.
Oh no, I haven't made it that far.
Nah, that's where you wild on the porn, because you start looking through the comments, bro. It'd be like, first off, nigga, who is the person that decided to put a comment underneath the porn, and then who was the motherfucker that responded, and then also who was the nigga that decided to go and read the responses that motherfuckers did, because now we done went down a whole rabbit hole of shit.
But the dope thing,
niggas done read 49 comments underneath this thing that you just, you know what I mean?
But why I say surely by the numbers, G, you're right that people can't be having sex like that, because some of the fans only home videos that be recorded on niggas' phones on the front camera be having like 40 million views. Nigga, what? This ain't even 1080p, my nigga. And y'all watching this 40 million times? So that means if this video got 40 million views, some of that shit from Black and like that shit's doing numbers, because they shooting that in like cinema quality.
Sheer numbers, yeah.
Like this is high def. Like this,
they got the most expensive red cameras.
You feel like you in the room. Oh my goodness, this is happening right now.
Nigga be going through the whole fantasy with him and shit. Like, oh shit, picked her up at the crib. I mean, we got her from the club. She was having you walking out the restaurant.
Yeah, but that's why I feel filthy.
Nigga walked with her underneath a tunnel and shit.
I feel filthy because
started getting in the tunnel.
I need the storyline now. I can't don't just rush this with me. Don't just fast forward, nigga. What happened? How did we get here?
I remember the night when I stumbled from the bar and found a bra underneath the tunnelway, and then all of a sudden I started kissing. And then fast forward to my place. Nigga, this shit is crazy.
This happens all the time.
Pour some champagne down. Yeah, okay. Too much porn.
Staying with, but I bring that. I also bring that up. That Dickie scene led to a conversation that then was like, well, why is this weird to have a conversation about fetishes with your chick? And then ultimately what you land on is like how overly stimulated, how overly sexualized in particular Black women are, and then next Black men, but then how supremely uneducated we are on the topic. Back to your point, ain't nobody having sex for real because of how poorly educated we are. And I liken it to, I remember going to a couple of my partners' house, like right, like that spend the night age. So probably like 3rd, 4th grade, you start spending the night, and You hear the
nigga making these flapjacks is nuts.
But he's rapping, making flapjacks, bro. He probably gassing too, though. That's what's crazy.
Bro, this nigga made 40 flapjacks, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. My bad.
My bad.
You start spending the night at people's homes, and the lack of nudity that was in the homies' homes, and like the emphasis on said lack of nudity, like was jarring. But I got it. Like maybe it wasn't normal for how naked everybody is in our house. All right, cool, got it. But then when conversations in and around anatomy, the female and male anatomy started happening, and they either weren't using the words at all, like the proper words, and if for sure wasn't using the slang words. Mm-hmm. I have vivid memories of grandma using the words coochie and wash your balls like religiously in like when niggas is getting in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like I just remember that, and so never being really jarred by those terms. Granted, those aren't the proper terms, but just saying either these households, they weren't saying either or. And so I remember a lot of those homies growing up to be like to have like teenage pregnancy and a whole bunch of shit, because it was like this whole other world being opened up to them that they didn't have no information on. And at like mom's, I think for like my 15th birthday or some wild shit, mom's bought me like a super pack of condoms or some shit like that. Like, and her partner was like, "Oh, you can't be buying your son condoms." Like, girl, yes I can. I probably should be, because this thing, he don't have no money to go buy none. So what is he gonna do with no money and still out here trying to fuck? Like, he needs condoms. And I just now in hindsight, I'm like, yo, that's some manly shit. But it's a unique trait not to have sort of weird interactions in and around the conversations of sex with people who have lived long enough to be able to educate you on the shit that you should know about fucking sex.
Completely.
I don't know how all that shit ran together, but it does in my brain.
Nah, that's true as fuck. All that shit. The on the Dave shit though, I think it works because it's, for one, we really fuck with the individuals, but they did a great job at. They haven't even got into character development. It's too early for it, but they've done a great job of emphasizing each character so that the product can work. Like, the product can just continuously move along because you have a self-interest in each one of the individuals on the set, which is a dope thing to put together that lets you know that the casting was correct. And there's a lot of thought that went into that potentially, but also that the storyline is amazing for each person. Because I gotta say, that's gotta be one of the top written characters for a girlfriend that you can come across.
For Dave's girlfriend?
Dave's girlfriend, yes. Like, she just be rocking.
Yeah, she doesn't come off as an afterthought. But you know who else's girlfriend comes off like that too is Ern's girl in Atlanta.
Oh, amazing. Oh yeah, no, Atlanta is okay. So
Atlanta and their significant other on the boyfriend on Insecure. How those characters sort of have their own identity outside of the relationship is pretty impressive writing. I'll say. I don't
Jay?
Jay Ellis, but what's his name on the show? Are you team
Lawrence?
Lawrence, yes. Yeah, Lawrence's character.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
No, definitely. Yeah.
My bad, G. You were saying?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that it's just cool to see that we just need to have something like that in between Atlanta. Whenever Atlanta decides to come back around, that'd be great.
Atlanta's gonna be fucking nuts, man. I'm looking forward to that.
I went back and watched that shit again, bro. That shit is
it's a must run back if niggas got time. Well, y'all got time. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Everybody got time to run it back.
Nah, man, I watched Kiss the Girls yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
What made you go to Kiss the Girls? It's a fire.
I had to go back down like the appreciation of Morgan Freeman, bro. Like,
Facts.
it was just like Alex Cross is a hell of a character. So now I got to go watch fucking Along Came a Spider, and we'll go down that whole little rabbit hole. But that goes back to my constant just anti whatever the fuck else is going on, because I'm now watching Kiss the Girls, which came out in 1997.
Well, how underrated is that run of movies from, I'll say, 95 to 98? There's a run of movies that are pretty impressive. When was 7? 7 is like 95, right? 95, 96. That movie's fucking phenomenal. I think everybody agrees.
7 is amazing.
But the movie that is criminally slept on, and this person's performance is criminally slept on, The Sale.
Yeah.
The Sale is phenomenal, man. J-Lo killed that shit.
The Sale is one of the more underrated
Is that
horror
98,
films.
97,
bro.
98?
97, I think.
90, yeah, around there probably 97, 98.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of the better horror films, bro. Like they did an amazing job at the cinematography.
It
on
ropes
that shit.
you in as if it's not a horror film. I remember thinking that, watching it, like that was one of the movies we rented from Blockbuster. The previews and all the shit made me really excited to get it.
2000.
Damn.
The Sale was 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thought it was 98.
Where the fuck was I watching that in 2000? Really? Huh. Nonetheless, fire movie. Incredible movie.
Great story. I mean, that probably brought along Criminal Minds. That might have been the beginning of Criminal Minds.
So
They might have just took it right from there.
That's just maybe. I'm wondering
Going into the psyche of
does it say what Rotten Tomatoes gives that? I'm curious now. Especially if it was 2000, and it's J-Lo. Who else is in that movie? It's somebody else that
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn is in that movie. Is he? He's not the killer.
No.
He's the other detective.
45%.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn was just a killer in American Psycho, or not?
No, not American Psycho. Vince in
Psycho, just Psycho.
Hey, stop, man! What are you doing? Psycho? That's the American Psycho. Who are you barking at? Come here. What's going on? So I didn't intend to breeze through the Primo and RZA battle as fast as we did. So if we could double back really, really fast. A lot of things happened last night.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, 90K in under 90 seconds. Impressive. Cool. We know that. The uncles of hip hop specifically, one more active than the other musically. RZA's active, but just not with music. He's more so in the film and anime and shit like that. But Preem, being a little bit more active, knows how to finesse his technology, but he also has a youthful team around him, and you can see that with Preem. And so everybody kept complaining about the sound. I'm not a snob in that way. I was just happy to see RZA on a live stream, talking in real time, not being curated, not being produced. It was just RZA, like access in a way that I there were times where I didn't feel worthy to have that much access to Preem and RZA last night. But then the other cool element about watching shit on live is seeing who's gonna pop in there. When I tell y'all all of hip hop was in that motherfucker last night, all of hip hop was in that bitch last night. The highlight of my night is when they go overtime and fucking Cactus Jack, Travis, gets in the thread and goes, well, if niggas is playing shit that they just co-produced on, Preem, you better play everything I am. The Ye shit from Graduation, he did the scratches on. And I was like the battle would have been over had Preem dropped that. And I don't think he saw it. And he started talking as if he was gonna lead up to that. He's like, yeah, I did scratches on this one joint for Kanye because RZA had just played the intro to My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. That people forget that RZA fucking did. And so he was like, oh, you got a Ye joint? I'm gonna play a Ye joint. And Travis said it, and I was like, yo, Preem is about to drop Everything I Am, but he ended up playing the joint that they made for the Nike Classics commercial, for the Air Force commercial, which was still dope. But had he played Everything I Am, this nigga, hey, move, man, messing up the headphones. Yes, you, bro. The amount of records that those two went through, and then watching everybody react to them from Stretch, from Stretch and Barbito. Killer Mike stayed in the whole time. Stayed in the chat the entire time. Black Thought was commenting the entire time. Ninth Wonder the entire time. Guru, Ava DuVernay, Adrian Brody the actor, Adrian Young, Ali Shaheed, Questlove. Nigga, Snoop came in late. Ghostface came in late. Meth was in there. Nigga, you name it. The who's who of hip hop stopped on a Saturday night to watch this, and I hope that I'm doing it justice in terms of my excitement and what it meant to see the who's who of hip hop be in engagement and be in attendance for excellence, and for those gentlemen to get their flowers in particular in real time, and for people to get a history lesson on what they've accomplished. My favorite part is talking about the birthplace of hip hop and the boom bap in New York, and niggas being like, yo, but Preem, y'all, like, Preem's from Houston. Like it's a cool conversation to have, but the nigga that y'all kind of coined at the center for the sound, like helping curate the sound, is from Houston. Nonetheless, you know, and so that in itself was beautiful. The music, the people in attendance, all that is really, really cool. The most important part coming out of this is a couple of things for me personally, though.
Okay.
One, the business that was done. We may never know the actual blueprint of what took place structurally, business-wise last night, but please believe 2,000 people on a Saturday night in one place, somebody made some fucking money last night. We didn't pay nothing, it was free, and that's not how that works. If you are ever able to get that many eyes in one place at one time, something is being sold, whether you know it or not. So that's part of it. The other part is how brilliant Swiss and Tim are for being able to forecast it and going out of their way to set it up and create some sort of structure. Because my belief is that whatever is being sold was going to happen on the back end. Like, once we come out of this, we're all going to be part of this thing that we don't even know we're a part of, right? These social experiments where somebody's going to be able to leverage and sell this content to a Netflix, to an Amazon, to somebody that is going to see the value in something like that took place. Because like I said, the music was one thing. The stories that them niggas was telling in between the songs was the best part. Because a lot of the songs that we identify as the joints, RZA be like, yeah, man, we almost didn't even make that shit. Excuse me? You almost didn't make it? Oh, yeah, we almost didn't put that shit out, man. Like, what? You know, so it was these really, really beautiful moments in between.
Did you enjoy that?
You could tell, huh?
No, I'm saying, do you enjoy that part of the thing, though? Like, when they tell you, like, some of that inside information about stuff?
I really, really do. I really, really do, because it's like, I guess for me, G.
Does it help, like, with the process a little bit for
not,
like, as a rapper and all that? Not
with the process. You know what it helps with? It helps protect the youth of the imagination, because there is a level of youthful glee or bliss, whatever you want to identify it as, with a creative, where you still think you're gonna be able to make a living off this shit, and the percentages the odds are so mightily stacked against me in particular, for example. But each failure, that Winston Churchill quote that's at the end of Molly's Game, is like, success is defined by moving failure to failure with the same amount of enthusiasm. Like that's what it's reminded of. And when you hear those stories and you hear like Preem's story is so dope because he had a plan. The plan was derailed when his man went and joined the army because shit was getting too real. He's like, yo, this rap shit moving slow. I'm out of here. And Preem's like, Like, he didn't tell Preem. Like, the recruiters just showed up at the house, and then his nigga was being hauled off to the military. And he's like, wait, bro, we started this together. I'm living in your parents' basement. How I'm going to stay here when you leave it? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, like, when you hear stuff like that, and for me,
that's a better story than, like, certain niggas could just leave them stories to themselves. Like, Joe got Tyrese to say some shit that he didn't even need to introduce to anybody, and it'd have been a lot better for him, and also for the public.
Yeah,
like the whole like sounds of love making, or the sweet lady. He didn't want to do that at the time because that was the mindset that he was in, and they forced him to do that. Or the sweet lady, I'm not sweet lady. The signs of love making. Just Googling the signs and like putting that, like, and putting his little bit on the end.
That was trash. I agree, but the other one, the sweet lady one, is a great story because it's a salute to Jonte Austin, the fucking legend. But it's an ode to why collaboration is so important.
Got it.
Sometimes you just can't see it, and the need for the importance of collaboration, the importance to not like, and then the misconception of ego, right? Where I think Ye and Jay are sort of the poster children of like, oh, them niggas is too cocky, da 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 da. I'm sorry, y'all. That's not how success works. You don't achieve the amount of success that they have without being able to collaborate at the highest level. Mm-hmm. When Wayne was doing his interview and talking about how Carter is that Carter 5 or Carter what's the latest Carter that just came out? C5?
Could see a C5.
This thing, it was like, yeah, man, Mac and them put that shit together, man.
Yeah, finding that X, the triple X.
I was like, yo, there's a common thread with the niggas who are deemed the GOATs. And some people go, oh, they not original. Da, 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 da. No, I'm calling something else. I'm calling it an ability to collaborate in another, and having another gear of emotional intelligence to be able to get the best out of people. For me, I get it, and it's crazy. I had a thought late last night about wanting to tell some of my favorite classic hip hop stories that I only know from listening to Combat Jack, from listening to Juan Epstein, all my favorite shows that don't really exist no more. And one of my favorite stories about one of my favorite records, and collectively, we can agree one of the best albums of all time, My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, is how in Hawaii, not only was it recording sessions, but it was morning basketball, morning runs, morning hikes, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like it was sharing a space and sharing energy and conversations, inspirations, failures, breakups, all these different things. What you reading right now, what you watching, what you not watching, what you don't fuck with, what you fuck with. There was an exchange, and through that, we get one of the greatest albums ever. And I know that's a tangent from where you were talking about with the Tyrese shit, but the reason the Sweet Lady thing was dope to me, because I wouldn't have guessed that for him, but when he explained it, it makes sense. It's like, nigga, my contemporaries are fucking Genuine and who else did he say? Genuine and somebody else that were completely singing about some whole other shit. And he's like, bro, you want me to come out here and be Luther, basically? Like, that's fucked up. Like, I want to compete with the young niggas. I get what he was saying there, but the brilliance of a producer and a writer like Jonte to go, no, nigga, you need to do this because women are who move the meter. And Tyrese genuinely wouldn't be here had he not done Sweet Lady. At all. He wouldn't. Like, Sweet Lady comes before Signs, if I'm not mistaken.
Completely.
Mm-hmm. And puts him in a whole different space to where we like.
You can only listen to Signs in one setting. Sweet Lady, you can get off anywhere. Pause. You can get off Sweet Lady at a party. You can get off Sweet Lady. You know.
At the skating rink.
Just multiple settings.
Hold my hand. Hey, no. How niggas used to? How you used to do it? How you want to skate with me? How you used to say it? What was your line?
Nah, I was smooth. I just roll up and grab them. Fuck it. I ain't even saying nothing, bitch. You already know what's up. I'm skating backwards.
Jesus. It's because of Lex, the Me Too movement is here.
Escalation.
that was so fast. Oh my God.
Pardon the bitch.
G, what was your line at the skate ring?
I wasn't a skater, bro.
Oh, this nigga too cool to skate, cuz I ain't fucking.
Look at L though. He too cool to do it. Look how he says.
No, but I'm not buying it. I know this nigga was skating, man. What are you talking about?
I wasn't a skater, bro. I've been to a skating rink probably twice in my lifetime. Like, nigga, I wasn't a skater at all.
Nigga, I only been twice, but I'm saying, but you did the couple skate. Like you didn't just go sit down during couple skate.
My nigga, if I've only been to a skating rink twice, my nigga, I'm not doing no couples nothing.
You didn't do the couple skate?
My nigga, how?
You poor soul. You could no. Okay,
My nigga,
Okay,
I can't skate, bro. Like, nigga, how am I supposed to do a couple?
Nobody can skate, nigga. That's the point. But you're not
bro.
about to get this off. Pause.
My nigga, the first time I went to the skating rink, nigga, it was like the hood shit. So like, nigga, that shit got nigga in the time we was probably there for 45 minutes to an hour. In that time frame, there was
so you wasn't really doing it. You wasn't really having the experience. Okay,
I was about to say, bro, but in the time that we was there was probably 7 fights. The last fight ended the entire skate.
Where was you? What skating rink was you going to?
Bro, I feel like this shit. Yeah, I feel like it was out
okay.
there
That was
bro.
that was Oakland niggas and Hayward niggas. I'm talking about skating ring in Fairfield. It was a different experience.
Nah, I ain't been out there.
So you get to the skating ring. It's early enough in the night. You can kind of see who in there, who not in there. And you just have casual interactions, and you start vibing with shorty throughout the night. So you like, all right, bet. Couple skate come on, it's her. But then you gotta be.
How do you know it's couple skate?
Then the DJ announced it.
Oh,
Yo, couple skating, 3 songs. We got 3 songs to go, baby. Start finding you like this is a thing.
Better start eyeing. You better start eyeing.
This is a thing. So. You got 3 songs to figure out to make your move.
Part of my childhood. Damn.
All right, man, you being cool. Anyway, you got 3 songs to get your shit together. Bet you start. Everybody start making it. Everybody start doing that little. You see the animal instincts come out in everybody because everybody starts doing this like circling, trying to tribal thing around who they want to skate with. But what you never account for is that it's a nigga in there eyeing the same chick you've been eyeing. So, and then there's that weird thing where if first come first serve, nigga. Like if he asked first, he just got there first. That's all. You missed out, so you can't
roll up.
So you learn that pretty early too. It's like because then it's like, oh man, she skate with that nigga. She go with that nigga. No, she like nigga. I just skated with him. Your ass was too late to ask. Like that's
the worst thing is when you roll up, they're rolling off.
Was folks getting rejected on the skates?
I've never
how did they reject on the
He just told you. You skating up, you work yourself up to go skating, and they just skate off on you with another. Hey, getting skated off on is crazy.
Because then you gotta act like you wasn't going over there to talk to him.
Yeah, how'd you smooth out on the skates?
There's no way to play because don't be the nigga that had to skate to the end where it's no outlet. Like luckily, if you skating to them and she's by the opening to go sit down, then you can play it off. But if you skated all the way to the wall where it ain't no way, you got to circle the lap. You got to do the lap by yourself. You got to do the lap on couple skate dolo. Like man, I just was too far.
And when you're doing that, everybody's looking at you.
Everybody.
Damn.
Everybody.
You can't even fall back, just like
because niggas is gauging.
Fall back into the crowd a little bit.
Niggas is gauging whether they gonna ask based off how your shit go. So if you get shot down,
somebody got started off.
Ain't nobody else going. Sorry.
What was some of the songs in the couple skate?
Couple skate,
Sweet Lady.
Nah,
Sweet Lady. Rain.
My boo. Nah, y'all niggas was skating. Oh, because my boo. I don't. Man, nah. You right. You
gotta think.
Yeah. I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah, maybe the Usher, Alicia, my boo shit.
No, I was talking about the old school my boo. When I went to skating in 7th grade.
The fat shit. The shit that they did the Redman challenge shoot.
Okay.
Oh shit! I'm trying to think what the songs would have been. That 112 Cupid would have been a couple skate for sure. Mm-hmm. That's a classic. You could put that on right now. 112 Cupid. I can't. Why am I having a brain fart about classic joints like that would have been clearly like options for couple skate?
If you only been twice, you only probably know 2.
True.
There's like the 702. I Still Love You.
Nah, niggas was fighting. I seen a nigga get stumped out that I still love you.
Yeah.
I see a man's whole head just get smashed.
Damn.
Okay, so now we can have a different conversation. There's the couple skate song What are the R&B records that you see niggas get beat up to? I Still Love You because of how that.
Yeah.
Like, soon as that happens, for whatever reason, 702 I Still Love You may as well be Bia Bia.
Yeah.
Like, they're the same song. They're the same fucking song.
They're in the same vein.
I've seen niggas get beat up, and I've definitely seen shots start on both of those songs. And you would think they were
Bia Bia for sure.
Bia Bia, yeah.
Especially when China White came on. China White came on, motherfuckers like this start acting a fool. If they can get to China White,
I was about to say sometimes
they don't make it that far.
No, because China White came on so ridiculous, bro.
China White don't. Whoa!
I hit licks.
Whoa! What are you? Whoa! Why are you?
Slow down, ladies. Slow down.
That's crazy. We remember China White.
I feel like you pulled everybody card on this song. God damn. Okay.
The fact that we're talking about China White is crazy.
China White was great for that moment.
Oh my goodness. Damn, y'all, we murdered that. I don't have many other topics. No. Lex had one. Are the AMC movie theaters going out of business currently?
Yeah, they keep saying that they're not gonna make it through the quarantine, and then they go.
The fact that they even made it to the quarantine is crazy, nigga. You can get every movie in theaters right now for $20 on Apple TV. And that's still cheaper than you would spend at the movies, nigga. After snacks and the movie tickets, nigga, you 100 in the hole.
About that.
Who was that? Was that James Cameron? It was James. I think it was James Cameron. That was pleading with the public to, once this stuff is all over with, please go back to the theaters. Hey man, it should take so long to make Avatar. Bro, take hella long to make the second, third, and fourth Avatar.
I don't want the movies to
I
go
guess
away.
the second one comes out next year. And
Bro,
then after
maybe.
that, 1 year after that.
Nigga, maybe. I think they're done. They just been holding them. So
Yeah.
hey bro, you waited too long.
I just don't. I don't want the movies.
The landscape switched up on you.
I don't need all the extra comfortable reclining seats and all that shit. It's cool. The bar.
That's just player.
The bar and all that. Like it's no, don't get me wrong. It's awesome. I just love going to the movies.
They should more so cater to that. Like they should now make a pivot. They probably ain't got the money for it, but I don't know. See if you can get aid for it. They're giving out aid for random ass shit for business. So
they need to just partner with Netflix.
Yeah, partner with Netflix too. You know, just sell your soul to Netflix.
Tiger King in the theaters, nigga.
But they need to revamp though. They need to make all them things that like, okay, we're gonna put a premium on the cost of it, but still, we gonna have to have these super thick leather seats that recline all the way back. We only gonna have a certain amount inside of here, so it's it's really limited. And have the surround sound hit, because that's still something that folks aren't gonna be able to get. For the majority of folks, you're not about to get that at the crib. Like some people they gonna adjust, and it probably ain't gonna be that big of a deal for you. But having that little setting or whatever, it's still gonna be cool for like when something like the superhero movies come out or something that has a lot of fireworks and blasts and shit like that. Also, like hella random ass shit like that, then you still want that surround sound. But if you about to watch, actually, fuck all that, bro. You know what's hella good? Parasite.
Man, Quiddy been saying watch that all week. I'm gonna get on it.
Parasite raw as fuck.
It's a cold movie.
That shit crazy. Like it's all subtitles. All you gotta read it all. But you get over that. I watch that shit. I watch foreign films like that. But you get over that, nigga, like within like 5 minutes, because the family's so cold. Like they funny from the beginning.
Let's go.
Like,
okay,
it's a really good film. So.
What any other quarantine film suggestions? Parasite is at the top of that list.
Trolls World Tour just hit.
He dead ass serious too, by the way, yo.
It just hit a living room near you. You know what I mean? So if you want to pull up and watch that one, it's all good. Not pull up to my spot, but if you want to pull up to your own living room and watch that, it's all good.
Living room near you.
If you want to do that, bet it's on Amazon Prime.
I've been going through a moment of like watching older movies for no reason at all, but still watching them, but they have to be hella long. Like I watched Casino. Joe Pesci's great.
I still haven't seen Casino.
Like ever?
I ain't seen none of the movies, bro. I ain't seen Casino. I ain't seen Godfather. I ain't seen
None of the Godfathers?
none of the Godfathers.
They're not your speed though. Like that's the other thing. Like I know L, he not gonna like that shit.
Yeah.
I still ain't seen the one that they just came out with.
The Irishman?
Yeah, I ain't seen that.
Well, the Irishman, I know you wouldn't like because you ain't seen them other ones. So
Yeah.
I think the Irishman is digestible to people who were stands of, and then the other funny.
It's out that same vein.
Oh, it is that vein.
Okay.
To the max.
To the max, yeah. But I was talking to my dad. My dad is one of them people that
Is that like The Departed?
Yeah.
kind of,
okay.
kind of like The Departed. The Departed is long, but has a little bit more. It's Leo, so I think Leo has a little bit more dynamic range than sort of.
And to me, the pacing's faster in The Departed.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe it's not that he's the more dynamic. It's
So that's all the dialogue.
the combination of Leo and Jack together just make the beats feel faster. Whereas
And Mark Wahlberg.
Fuck.
And didn't they have Matt Damon?
And Matt Damon. Jesus.
And Alec Baldwin, right?
Jeez.
There's a lot of motherfuckers in that movie, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it is. It's the dynamic that I'm feeling isn't just Leo. It's the combination of all them. But granted, Goodfellas is when you go back and look at who's in Goodfellas, it's hella people in that movie.
Yeah.
It's hella people in that movie. As is Godfather 2. It's hella people in Godfather 2. Are you Godfather 1 guy or Godfather 2 guy?
I feel like you need both. I'm not a Godfather 3 guy.
No. I'm not here for Godfather 3 at all. Yeah. I appreciate it, but I think it's more so in the vein of like I hella fuck with Godfather 1, and Godfather 2 just holds this unique space in like film history for me. But Casino, man. Casino, granted, Godfather is 2, but I was a little too young for Godfather. When Casino came out, it was the first one I remember with the double cassette shit, where you bought it and it was 2 in that motherfucker and you got them. Titanic was like that too. It's a few movies like that, but I just
Was it
remember
the same movie, or was it like a?
No, it's the same movie, but
alternate one.
you gotta just watch the first part, and then when that's over, you gotta get up and put the second one in.
Oh shit!
But I was saying, with my dad, he's the nigga that he won't watch no new movies. I'm like, Dad, here's my Netflix shit. Go watch The Irishman. You gonna fuck with it? Nah, man. I'm over here watching Rambo. Right now, I'm watching Rambo 2. You just watched that last week, yeah, but it's on again, and I'm just gonna watch it again. Nigga, watch a new movie, sir. Like, what are you doing? I love my dad. That nigga so like his logic. You'll think, oh, I'm gonna call him. I can talk him down. He'll convince you why you shouldn't be watching new movies. Like, nigga, I know what I'm gonna get. So, like, wait, Dad, that is not how consuming new shit works. But I get it. I completely get it. You win.
I fuck with it.
Nah, yeah, I
They
can't.
got the whole. They got all the Lethal Weapons on Netflix. I might have to go back down that road.
I'm good.
The first Lethal Weapon was raw. The first one, and then like I think the last one that had Jet Li.
I'm good. I'm not watching.
His face is so.
Yeah. And then
Poe, shout out to Poe. He sent me a Complex post about Gladiator. It's the anniversary for Gladiator.
Yeah, no, that was good.
But they're talking about Joaquin Phoenix just being so nervous to be around Russell Crowe and to be on set. He was like, and we all know Joaquin Phoenix is one of them far out niggas, and he was like, yo, you got to rough me up before the scene. And Russell Crowe's like, I got to do what? And who directed that? I forget.
Forgot to.
Somebody important, but tells Russell like, hey, just give him some space and like freeze him out. And they just froze this nigga out for the day, and like, and that's that.
Ridley Scott.
Okay, my bad, Ridley Scott, legend. But he probably said some racist shit at one time. That's why that's fucked up to say. He didn't. That's so fucked up to assume he said something racist at some point.
Bro, I know how the people in the overworld, man, really be like, where the hell did all this energy come from?
But that's what Tom Segura's stand-up bit about. How you can just say shit about people.
Bro, you can say whatever now, bro. People just run with it.
He said his dad told him that fucking Tommy Lee Jones was gay, and he just ran with it for his whole life, and gets into Hollywood and is talking to somebody that's best friends with Tommy Lee Jones. Like, yeah, you know he's gay, and Tommy Lee Jones is like, fam, no. His friend is like, no, he's not gay. And he calls his dad. It's like, Dad, I have proof that Tommy Lee Jones is not gay. He's like, oh, damn, I thought he was. It's like, wait, that's it? That's all it took? So just assuming Ridley Scott is racist is fucked up. That's so fucked up. Because chances are he is, but he probably not.
That's how I roll down, bro. Just say, bro, whatever you put out there, my nigga, people run with it.
Chances are he said something, but he probably isn't. So let me take that back.
I really wish that Ridley Scott would have went further on the idea that he had for Prometheus. Like, he did not do enough.
What's Ridley Scott's
thinking on Prometheus?
Aliens, right?
Yeah, he did the whole Alien franchise.
Oh, he's not racist. My bad, really. You the nigga.
That was another movie I watched. Was the first Alien.
You went back. How was it? How does it hold
That's
up?
That's
really
good.
It holds up today.
Good.
Really?
Yeah.
Alien, the first Alien, is so fucking.
What's
raw.
her name? What's her name?
Sojourner Weaver.
Yes. Sojourner Weaver, Sigourney Weaver, whatever her name.
So it holds up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Wow.
Shit, that and the first Ghostbusters, second Ghostbusters, those still hold up.
Damn, but now whenever I watch Ghostbusters, because it came on the other day, and I was like, I can't get the idea out of my head that Eddie was supposed to play that role, and he
which role?
He was supposed to be the black dude.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
He just didn't. He what was he filming at the time? Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just couldn't do it because of scheduling.
That would be so nuts.
Are you?
And Dan Aykroyd was like, he said he was happy that Eddie didn't, just for the simple fact
he would have
that
overtook the entire cast.
And because they rearranged the whole script. Because when they rewrote it, the original script, Egon was like really in the script. And then they
that
were
makes
like,
sense.
Throughout the whole thing, it got chopped down so much that he was like, really, Egon's only in 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. That makes sense.
If you really look at
it. Yeah,
if
looking at Eddie in the current role, I'd be like, that's crazy. But I'm pretty sure with him that he'll probably be the...
He would have figured it out. But him,
he'd
like,
have been important
the three of them on camera together, bro, like that the dialogue alone, I can't. The what if, it feels like, that feels like a crazy what if. Like, I would have been better off not knowing that. Like, now I'm fucked up for life because it's like, wait a minute. Eddie was supposed to get that role? What?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Where's some
any other? We just went down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, y'all some nerds, man. I was about to say we. That's y'all.
Okay, the person that started this whole thing.
I did not. You started it. Ridley Scott, he should have expanded on that Prometheus idea. Nigga, what? How do you even know this? What are you talking about?
Nah, he definitely should have. Still to this day. But
I agree with you, though.
And Lex is like, nigga, I agree. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Nah, but I want to hear Lex try to save AMC. Like, what do you have to...
Oh, you had a business model for him?
No, I don't. I don't even know what to do. It's just... I guess me as a filmmaker, just that feeling of being able to sit down in a movie theater and see your shit on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like, it was in an interview where RZA was talking about.
If that goes away, oh, man.
And RZA was just talking about, he was like, when he finally made, what was the shit?
Iron Fist, yeah.
Yeah, and he said being able to just go, he said when it came public.
Iron Fist was really dope, actually.
He went to a movie theater and he said, I just sat in the back row. And I had my hood on so people didn't know it was me. And he said being able to just sit there and see your movie get played on that big screen with tons of people there. Yeah. And he said some motherfuckers enjoying it, some not enjoying it, not understanding it. He said it was like, that's a feeling that not so many people get. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, that's going to be gone.
Yeah, I'm really worried about, when I said it before though, like the Quibi thing and all that, and then theaters going away. That people, like, you're going to train the public to not be able to take in a lot of information at one time from one particular idea. Yeah. So, like, then people will be you're working at a faster pace for one, but which will then take away, I guess, the people that have to work for like 2 years to present something to people that they then binge watch or watch in a sitting, and all that shit, all that work that you put in, people just can quickly comment on what the hell they thought about it from their living room. But if you take that away, that's fine. But take away like the idea that people cannot sit down and take in enough information from one particular topic or one particular idea. They have to get this one, and then they have to run to the next one, and they have to run to the next one, and they have to run to the next one, and never really never really like expound on one particular person's idea is a little scary to me personally.
Go ahead.
For me, it's terrifying because now that you're shorting, like you said, a 10-minute clip and being able to try to tell a whole story within that 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. It just kind of like breaks down the whole idea of storytelling in some certain way. Because you got to think, years ago, many years ago, people used to sit down and tell one story to a crowd of people.
Yeah, it was a connection.
And now
I so crazily disagree with you guys.
Okay,
all right.
Not for the sake of like just disagreeing, but those parallel worlds have always existed. Like short stories in books, like that's a whole genre of storytelling. Is like short stories intentionally.
It's not the only genre.
It's not the only genre. No,
they're attempting to make it the only genre.
They're attempting to, but the how culpable the studios and the creatives are in that attempt is like that's the not realizing the stake in the attempt that you hold, right? So if the creatives are going, man, Quibi's the only way I can get my shit out. I gotta conform. Then and if James Cameron fucking does that, if Spike Lee does it, if everybody just goes fuck it, the only way we're gonna do it is just do short stories, and then I get you, but we just saw that turnout for that Coogler had for Black Panther. Like we see it still exists, and again in the AMCs and everybody that's going out their way to do it. We've watched just right here. We've watched what's the theater right here, Grand Lake. We've watched Grand Lake struggle to keep their doors open for years and sustain sort of the nostalgia and the history. So it's with anything, it gets with concept albums where niggas is like, Future does 4 albums in a year, and this nigga Kendrick goes away for 3 years. How? Cause nigga, he gives us like quality shit for us to digest, and there's still a fan like that exists, that will always exist, and that spans across generation. Kendrick has old fans, he has young fans, and he has fans right in his exact demographic. It may not be as popular and as as shiny as the other shit that's sort of easy to consume in real time, but who really wants them niggas around anyway for stuff that's of substance for me? And so I guess you guys are right. I just shouldn't say I disagree because y'all wrong. I appreciate the space and the hand that is being because it's forcing people to become better storytellers and more creative storytellers, and find multiple avenues. So for like Lex, for example, you've written a full feature film, and then a full feature series that's like 45-50 minutes an episode, and then you were like, well, fuck it, let me figure out how to tell these shorter stories too. I like that. I'm not opposed to that. Niggas running the gamut and trying to figure out how to do it all. It feels like that, and then it feels like that doing a mixtape run and then going, all right, bet I want my mixtapes to feel a lot more like albums and bodies of work. All right, bet I got the people's attention. Now I'm gonna go away, and then every time I pull up, I'm gonna make something that's crazy. Meanwhile, niggas is getting off hella albums in between, and we don't remember one the way we do To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. We don't remember. Damn won the Pulitzer for fucking crying out loud. So that shit like that gives me hope for the long form storytellers that are like, I got something to say, I have an experience I want to present, and there continue to be space for both. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you guys are saying is that they're trying to make it only be a one-dimensional sort of platform, and that's scary. I say, we as the consumer, we as the creatives, would have to be so. We would have to be so
oblivious?
No. We would have to be so in on that heist that we would be the only ones to blame if they're able to pull that off.
I think the only part of this, and my bad, Lexa, my bad. But I think the only part about this that's being missed a little bit is that as creatives in a space, right? you can say that you have complete control over the content that goes out to the people for them to then take in. But really, you'll be at the mercy of the people. So if they're coming up with if technology is moving at such a fast pace, right, and you have people that are not creative that are behind a lot of the technology that people are dealing with, the public is dealing with, and they're shortening the span of those people. Before long, the landscape, the creative doesn't really have control over how that response is from the public. Like the public is constantly being trained without anybody being knowledgeable of it. So while we're all in quarantine, everybody's feeding into the exact same information, right? So people, they
nigga, you just told me you were anti.
My nigga, I am anti, but I'm also like I'm anti at a fault sometimes. Like, but it's also like it's me dealing with this in real time. It might be a little different than like how the public is dealing with it when a lot of the information that everybody's taking in is pretty much the exact same. So it's kind of a like you said, it was a case study. It's all training as well. Like this is constant training of the mind without people being knowledgeable of it. They just know that they're bored or they have FOMO or any of that stuff like that, whatever that possibly could be, but they are constantly being trained to think a certain type of way. So if they eventually come out of this whole little time right here as nigga, we don't need a theater, or we best believe what's after that is nigga, we don't need to take in a large body of work either. Eventually. Damn. Like I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about the eventual outcome of that, of a lot of this will be that that's boring. So something that is 2 hours is boring. What was boring at 3.5, 4 hours, at 2 hours is boring. At 1.5 hours is boring. At 1 hour is boring. At 30 minutes is boring.
That's always existed though. It's always existed.
It's at a rapid pace though, Monty. We're not talking about before social networks and nigga distraction and
you're
shit.
Right.
You got to mix in nigga a person's 24 hours right now is consumed by the item that is attached to their hand.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. That the gaslighting piece that went viral yesterday on Medium. Did you see that? Did you guys read that? I'll share it with you. Beautiful. Let me give the author his proper flowers because I got it. Shout out to Bruno, my dear friend from South Africa. He sent it to me. It was the first thing I woke up to yesterday, and then I got it and then I sent it to Kevin. Raj sent it to me. I don't know why I didn't send it to UG. Julio Vincent Gambuto. Mm-hmm. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, brother. Salute to you. You bodied it. Prepare for the ultimate gaslighting. You are not crazy, my friends. What we collectively are experiencing right now is a structure to where so much isn't demanded of our time. Yes. So much isn't demanded of us having to be present for shit that doesn't feed us. We don't have to subscribe to this rat race into the point to where it compromises our spirit, our families, our finances, and our mental bandwidth and our physical health. It's a beautiful piece, y'all. I encourage everybody to read it. I'll even do my part. Not that the shit needs any more help getting eyes on it, but I just want as many people to read it and walk away from it feeling getting the positive reinforcement that I've been thinking. I feel better physically. I feel better mentally. the conversations that I'm having with friends, family, and loved ones alike is completely different because of the things that they're able to think about and process for a period of time and not having to be so quick with decision making, because it's just moving. You think it's moving fast when it really ain't moving that fucking fast. Before all this would happen, was doing the cleanse of the phone to where wouldn't touch my phone until an hour after waking up, or would completely turn it, go into airplane mode in the gym, and then or completely leave the phone in the control room when I'm recording in the studio as a complete means of detaching from it and go, oh, I ain't miss shit. Like I ain't miss nothing at all. Same old propaganda, all the shit. But you said it, G, and you've been saying it for a long time in terms of how we are being conditioned, and what the powers, quote unquote, are always seem to be responding to is what we get to sort of dictate and prop up as being cool. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm hearing when y'all I should have articulated this earlier in my earlier statement was when you guys are like, yo, AMC and shit gonna close. Yeah, AMC is gonna close, but all those like privately owned theaters that have since had to close their doors and become other things like music venues and all the shit, there is now a means for those to exist to where they don't have to compete with the AMCs who can cut a deal with the Paramounts and the Universals and the Cinemax and all these different companies to get exclusive rights to the films to where the mom and pops can't get them. Now the indie films come back and like when the mass produced infrastructure sort of implodes, the underground and the mom and pops thrive and the privately owned joints thrive again. So Best Buys are closing, but the fucking record stores are opening left and right. You know what I'm saying? Like the AMCs may close, but guess who's gonna be in a run for a building big enough to house a theater? Your boy. I'm gonna be looking for one. Like, cause it's just it seems to happen like that, to where the machine outbids itself because it's tethered to the conditioning of the people, where you can have the masses of the however many niggas pull up for the Marvel movie and all that, but give me 100 niggas that are anti-you that I know are gonna come to the movies and religiously spend their money and help keep those doors open. Like the casting, how much consistent output and how many resources you have to allocate to casting a big ass general net where a bunch of shit is gonna slip through, you're gonna lose it, as opposed to going to fish for something very specific and cater to a demographic that is underseen and underserved. There's so much value in that economically, that part of your conditioning, and what that being taken away from entrepreneurs wasn't conditioning as much as it was complete like rape and pilferage. What's the word? Pilferage? Rape and pilferage? Is that the word?
Yeah.
When you think about the Black Wall Street in Tulsa,
yes.
when you think about the Green Book as a whole, to where doctors, lawyers, meat markets, produce markets, black farms, you name it, black laundromats, all these different things, and how a lot of the Asian American community, the Indian American community, the white community, the Jewish community have been able to sustain some of the things that we've been told are antiquated. Dog, there's still hella laundromats that are open and busy as fuck. We don't own not a one of them, but we have to go patron them. And so I'm jumping all over the place, but I personally, it's sort of solidifying what y'all saying. If the movies do get shut down, I'm not as afraid of that, because places like Grand Lake Theater and other theaters will be spawned. New Park Cinema will then hold a new level of value because they've been keeping their doors open with the bare minimum anyway. So the big theaters closing don't mean the mom and pops is going to go out. It actually means the business for the mom and pops are going to thrive. And so I challenge myself first and foremost, but then all of us to continue to seek pushing the bar and pushing the element, especially if you're a storyteller. Kendrick is such an inspiration because of the attention to detail and how much he cares, in the bar pushing for storytelling. Damn is officially 3 years old now, and I ran it back the other day and got something new again. And I know the next time I listen to it, I'm gonna get something new again, and then again and again. To Pepper Butterfly is that way, as well too. Granted, I'm talking about one man, but that one man reminds me that a Ryan Coogler exists. The Ryan Cooglers remind me that a Donald Glover exists. The Donald Glovers, I can go on and on to where these the Dave Chappelle Mark Twain piece. I had to watch it again, bro. Like the Netflix version of it. Because the game changers are the anti niggas, and those are the ones that inspire me the most. Like y'all niggas inspire me the most, where it's like, nah, I'm just me.
I went back and watched the Kevin Hart shit too, bro. That shit was great.
The what is it?
Don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck this up. Was that's the docu-series, right? Yeah, that was awesome. It was the excited Kev.
Just I fuck with the pace, bro. Like the pace is just like this, man. And that was something that I really took in from that doc, and what I had to get back to is just like this whole thing is a pace, bro. Like you gotta just find your own. You know what I mean? And you can't be on other people's time frame. You can't be on other people's pacing of things, because then you'll get lost in it. But if you just get your pace down, bro, and just keep moving,
yeah,
my nigga, the Scott, nigga, there is no limits to what the hell you be doing. So that's a great doc, bro. Like that ain't nothing that he was talking about in that doc, but that's like the underlining message though. It's just like my nigga did not stop moving, bro. Even when niggas was tired, niggas didn't stop moving, and shit came from that. So
yeah, there's a bunch of talented motherfuckers walking this earth. There's an overwhelmingly amount of talented people. However, with that,
you know who's struggling right now?
Go
ESPN, bro.
Thank you.
That is a sad channel without their venues, boy.
Do you know that them niggas debated the other day what Patrick Ewing's career would have been if Michael Jordan wasn't born?
I saw that before I went to Hulu.
Gee, I was like, this is what it's come to. And then the next topic was like something about Mike Tyson. What Mike Tyson? I was like, oh, y'all struggling.
Right. Man.
But again, these are people who didn't invest in the storytellers. So the money that they should have given Bill Simmons, they let my man walk because he was I fuck with Bill Simmons and like talk shit about him, but he's a brilliant mind to me, and what he was building with Bleacher Report and what he's been able to sustain with the new network, ESPN would have been perfectly fine had they given Bill the bag and made him one of the heads of programming over there.
They did it some more though, bro. Like they just keep putting their own foot in their mouth
every time.
My nigga Bomani has been nowhere to be found.
They not giving Bo's doing everything from home.
That's what I mean.
They let Jamel walk.
They're not doing anything
Jamel started
correctly.
a production company, bro. Like all the talent they've had in that building, they just keep letting them walk. I don't feel bad for ESPN at all. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Stephen A. Molly, I fuck with them. They cool, but they're kind of one-dimensional and kind of antiquated in that regard, where the youth and the visionaries, Bill, Bomani, and Jamel, y'all all had in the building at the same time.
They also just don't serve a purpose in these times. Like, if you don't have something to create the story for you, you don't have anything.
Because why? Because they've been telling their anchors not to talk politics for a decade.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, we don't like to mix politics and sports. Nigga, how? Everything is mixed together, and you've been telling your anchors not to talk about it, trying to protect your relationships, and now you fucked off content-wise.
Only thing they got, bro, is teasing a Michael Jordan doc.
That's gonna be fire, by the way.
It is gonna be fire.
It's gonna be
That's
fire.
all they have, bro. They lean up to that like it's the Super Bowl.
But they've been running all their 30 for 30s. Their 30 for 30s is all they got going.
Yeah.
And the 30 for 30, I don't have shit to say bad about the 30 for 30s, but who was that a brainchild of? Bill. Bill, and then Bomani directed the best one. So what are we talking about?
No, they started running the Rookie and Glory Road, and it was like, oh yeah, these niggas, they done ran out of shit.
They had to call a favor from Disney, like, yo, what sports movies y'all got over? Oh, you got the Rookie? Bet. Can we get Glory Road too?
This shit, boy. God
nigga.
damn.
How we feeling, fellas? We good? We missing anything?
Nah, I think we did good, man. For the world to have stopped, we was out here potting.
Yes, sir. Lex Bubble, anything special coming up you care to share with the people? Nah. LG, anything special you care to share with the people?
Nah, not really. Appreciate y'all.
Well, since y'all not gonna share, I will.
What you got, money?
Preach, brother.
As our resident share.
Do-rag money about to be in full effect, baby. This
shit.
quarantine got me long out here, you feel me? I got the hat on so y'all can't see me, but I ordered a do-rag in the mail. It'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
And I might have some waves on you hoes. And you going from bald to wave, just low-key some serial killer shit.
I don't want to come over with you putting 360 in your hair like, what's up, Lex?
That's pure coconut oil, baby.
I ain't mad to vibe it off, but
Gee, don't let me walk around here with no do-rag on, my nigga.
hey, bro, as long as your shit don't look like the Rottweiler coat, then you good.
It's the only way I can go. I can't half do it. Like, I gotta fully make my shit look like Rottweiler fur,
right,
like
man,
silky shiny, bro. What are you saying to me?
Y'all hear that?
What are you saying? Nah, I'm.
That's still the best roast I've ever heard.
He
Bro.
told that nigga Billy Sorrells his hair looked like Rottweiler of fur.
And then he put his hand down, bro. That shit was dead on.
Let's do that real quick before we get out of here. Can we send a salute and a congratulations to everybody at All Def Digital
they're doing
for their fight, not giving up on their platform. Patrick Cloud, Kev on stage, I guess would be the two familiar faces.
Tony Baker.
Tony Baker, sorry, Tony. Like all brilliant minds to hear more. All these people that fought on the front lines, they had to survive the shit. They got roped into the stuff with Russell because of the name and because of the initial funding. But be way long before Russell's situation with the Me Too movement took place, they were running that building and creating excellent original content, killing it. Roast Me is collectively one of our favorite shows. And I imagine after the quarantine is lifted, they'll get back to filming and create an epic season. This will be season 5, right?
6.
Jeez. This will be an epic season 6. Craig Smith is back. I want to challenge All Def Digital. Lex, let's make this a clip this week. I want to challenge All Def Digital and do your top 3 niggas versus 85 South. We need an All Def All-Star kick team versus 85 South episode of something.
Good luck.
It'll be epic. Y'all niggas will probably lose. Who would you pick? You CP, Craig,
Kev. Go with.
You don't do Kev on stage cannot be in.
You can't do Kev.
No, it's CP and Craig are 2.
Oh, you talk about roasting?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
CP,
yeah, no, it's got to be CP, Patrick.
No, fuck no.
Pat is gonna be funny, bro.
No, he's not. Pat is funny. That's fucked up. Pat is funny.
But Pat's gonna have comeback.
You pick yes, that's true.
Like, you gotta have somebody that can come back though.
So
like CP's gonna be good for initial.
Because I think
actually he's gonna give comebacks too.
85
CP
South
you gotta have.
85 South we know is 3, but they travel with like 5 or 6 comics though, right? So let's say give or take, 85 South is coming with 6 people. All Def gets 6. If they get 6, I'm putting Pat in there because of the comebacks thing. But you know who was funny consistently? Brent Taylor.
Yeah, he is.
Brent Taylor should be in that for All Def. CP, Craig, Pat, Brent Taylor. You get 2 more.
Craig Schmidt.
Okay, we got Craig already.
You said what?
See, we got Craig. CP, Craig, Brent Taylor, Pat. We got 4. Who your last 2 spots going to? You know who on the low, G? Your boy from Macon, Georgia. Big bruh. That they call him. He said he looked like such a fucking hoe, bro. Big bruh. He's
from Sacramento?
No, not Doughboy. Doughboy get eaten alive in that shit. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, you talk about the one that got eczema?
No. You talking about he would get eaten alive in that shit too.
Oh, okay, then I don't know then. Definitely not Dave.
Yeah, David.
Nah, bro.
You don't want to put David in there?
Nah, David get eaten, bro. That's probably
you put Boo Capone in there just for laughs,
bro. Boo is not on the traveling team, bro.
Boo ain't make the traveling team.
Boo not making the traveling team, bro.
To me, Boo was MVP for the first 2 episodes
for being talked about.
And
yes,
then he just lost it, bro.
Bro.
So you got to put Billy Sorrells on there, then.
Yeah.
Damn. Billy be fucking with 85 South though.
That's not a good lineup, bro.
Nigga,
not for roasting. It's bad.
Los by himself, nigga, will torch niggas. Are we overrating Los? Are we overrating Los, or is Los really the GOAT?
No, he really is. No, that nigga's really nice with it.
I wonder because I always get my measurement of how dope somebody is based off of what their peers say. Mm-hmm. I wonder if the comedic peers feel the same way about Carlos as we do.
I think they do.
Okay.
I think once you look at a stand up or whatever, you'll be like, all right. And then also just talking with that nigga, I think
are there specials coming? They got to be having specials coming, right?
They should be working on some type of material.
Okay. All right, man. Well, we've rambled and ranted long enough. Maki, you want to say something, Pop? Nope. All right, he's sleeping. It's been another episode of Meet the Brave, and we'll see y'all next week.
Love.
Yep.